Oh, how's it going? How are you, friends? My name is Mike. This channel here is Health and Wealth. Thanks for joining me today on another episode. Yesterday, we uncovered Coney. I'll link that video at the end if that's something that intrigues you and you haven't seen yet. But today, we're going to go over NVDY. I am in a few online forums out there, and we get the comments all the time on these forums. Is this a good investment? Should I invest in this? Will I make money with this investment? Things like that. And so what I really, really want to make sure that we all understand is that we should be doing our own homework. We should be doing our own research. And watching videos like this, I hope will help with that research, but I hope that you take it and you expand on it to uncover what you want to know about it, but also discover what's important to you when it comes to an investment. Now, before we dive all the way into this, I need to make sure we understand I'm not a financial advisor. I am some guy in his home office. There's my work right there. Just kind of putting out there what I see. And some of it may be accurate, some may not. So it's up to you to kind of dive deeper on it. Okay. Now, also, whenever you watch YouTube videos, I've been watching a lot myself lately. We find that YouTubers only cover, certain subjects. And so for me, I'm trying to be as thorough as possible, but there may be some holes that I miss out on. And so that's really important for you to kind of discover those yourself. Also, before we really dive into this, let me know in the comments. I want to do a live tomorrow where we just chit chat about the week. We talk about our ETFs, our holdings, life itself. If you want to be there tomorrow, I'm hoping for 12 o'clock Eastern, going for at least an hour, maybe two. Let me know in the comments if you'll be there or not. And I look forward to seeing you. So let me go ahead and bring my face down here. I've gone ahead and opened up YieldMax's website at YieldMax.com or YieldMaxETFs.com. And I've opened up NVDY's page here. I went to our ETFs under YieldMax cover calls and clicked on NVDY right here. NVDY has been trading, let me take a look here, for a few months now. A few months. I think it came out June. Yes, it did. June. Its first payment was June 6, 2023. Now, I know that it's paid out this many dividends, this many distributions since it's come out. So it's been a high payer. It's been one of the top funds at YieldMax for, since its inauguration, since it came out. And people love it. Now, right now, the stock market itself is going through rocky times, with the changeover from Biden to Trump, with, uneasiness about the jobs market and also uneasiness about the interest rates and if they're going to be holding or if they're going to be decreasing or maybe are they going to go up, right? And so they probably won't go up. That's most likely why they're holding. But right now, because of all of that, among a number of other factors, the stock of NVIDIA is going down. And so we've had a recent decline here. If I take a look at the last 5 days, we're down 3.78%. You can see a large, sharp decline here, almost a Batman wing right there. But all the way from 150 here down to 136. Now, yours truly is a big NVIDIA fan. I've gone ahead and purchased some shares on NVIDIA. It's not very many. My goal and my current target is just 10 shares. And so I hope to get there within the next month. What I'm using is my distributions from NVIDIA and maybe from Misty. We're going to see. I am not decided on that 100%, but the share price of NVIDIA is down. Now, NVIDIA is following suit. If you're a NVIDIA holder, you're probably freaking out a little bit right now, man. Your share price is down 22% in the last 6 months. And your current share price is $22.40, going up and down here because I'm making this video while the market is open. One thing that I am concerned about is the percentage here. So I've gone ahead and I've clicked on 6 months, and I want to go back to NVIDIA and go to 6 months, and you can see NVIDIA itself has gone up 0.85% in 6 months. after its most recent drop here, that has taken away from those forward progressions. But the point I want to make is that it's up 0.85%, whereas NVDA, let me go back to that, is down 22% in that same exact time. But for most people that have YieldMax, you're in it for the income. And so the price of the ETF is down 22%. But what did you get in that 6-month period? Well, you got distributions to kind of cover that. Did it cover the whole thing? I have them all sitting right here in a spreadsheet. If we take a look at the last 6 months here, that you've received $6.81 in distributions. So did it cover that percentage? That is a good question for sure. That's a good question. So for me, I see NVIDIA as the top company in the world, let alone just USA, but the entire world. I see it going nowhere but up in the long term, right? This company is a beast, right? With the AI technology, with the chips, with the robots, with the gaming and the computer chips that they put in computers, the processors, the speed. It's just nothing but good news. So why did it go down? Again, I think it has a few factors there. And at the end of this video, I'm going to play a video for you from CNBC that kind of explains it a little bit more. On top of the election stuff, on top of the job scarce, on top of the interest rates, on top of war, what is the other reason that NVIDIA has gone down in the recent days? And I'm going to play that video for you at the end here, okay? Now, I want to take a look at me as an investor here. I've been with NVIDIA for almost a year now. I think it was April of last year I started over at NVIDIA, and I've gone ahead and crunched the numbers. By the way, this is my passive account. Passive account here is a dividend tracker. If you don't have a dividend tracker, this one's pretty decent. It is $99 a year for this premium version that I'm using right here. Less than $10 a month for this. And I'm going to post a link for this in my my pinned comments. If you want to take a look at it, do it. No skin off my back if you don't, but just so we know, I get $20 if you do it. Did I just say do? If you do it. If you're a Questrade user like myself, you actually get this for free. Click my link, sign up. Life is good. It's totally free for you forever, maybe. But what I wanted to show you was how much money I have made off NVIDIA. Now, I'm a small-time investor compared to a lot of you out there. But so far, I've brought in $5,039 in distributions, and that is under a year. The most shares I ever had of NVIDIA was 400. I think I'm down quite a bit from that right now. Right now, I have 336 shares of NVIDIA. I did take some away to buy more Coney last month, and so that's why I took those away. I really feel like NVIDIA could be just taking a slight break. Now, I did make a video and record the earnings call last time it came out. In those earnings calls, NVIDIA did say that they are projecting slower quarters, 2 quarters to be precise. They did mention that they were going to be not putting out the 100% that they've been doing, but 30% compared to their 100%. So that has come true so far. So yeah, I definitely believe in NVIDIA. So again, the goal is to get the 10 shares of that, and then also expand that NVIDIA a little bit more. 336 shares from now is good, but it doesn't get me to my pillar, which is $500 a month. If we take a look up here this past month with its lowest distribution in a very long time, it made me $370. Now, everything I'm showing you here is Canadian, so I just did a little Canadian to US conversion here. I put that $5,039 in. It equals $3,491. Not bad for an investment of right around $10,000 for me. It's been less than a year. We're looking at 8 months here so far, and it's already brought in $3,491 in that time. Pretty darn good. If we looked at this 3, 4, 5 years ago, that would be unheard of, right? That your investment has already drawn in distribution 34.91. That is a pretty amazing thing. So where do we see NVDA going in the future? Well, I know YieldMax, I've been following their calls here, their weekly calls. I know last week they really screwed up, and they closed their oh my goodness, they closed their options the day before NVIDIA tanked, right? So what happened? I'll just give you guys what happened because I watched it. NVIDIA was, oh my goodness, I'm dropping microphones over here. NVIDIA was cooking. They were doing amazing. Let's go take a look at this last week. Can I do that? 1 month. Here it is. January the 6th. Yep, they were cooking, right? And so if I go to my calendar here, January 6th was a Monday. That's this week, right? So last week here, and they had these calls set for the 10th, by the way, which is today. And then all of a sudden, they closed those calls. They paid a ton of money to close those options. All of a sudden, you can see what happens here. NVIDIA fell off the mountain. So millions of dollars YieldMax spent on closing options early. And then NVIDIA tanked almost right away after they did that. So how are we looking for this month coming up? So January 31st will be the next payment. That's 21 days away from today. I'm not predicting anything bigger than 89 cents because of that. You know, the synthetic option probably not going to be doing too well either. Let's go take a look at that. So NVIDIA share price 136. Let's go take a look at the synthetics here. Now these are usually for February. February 21st, 127. Okay, so that's still looking good. 138. That's not too bad. Only $2 away on that one too. So for the synthetics, I mean, they could close out this synthetic early, and that could bring you income. But I'm not predicting a large distribution again. But I hope in the future that they can start giving us some more distribution. Now, I asked ChatGPT. I wanted to kind of cheat here a little bit and say, how much has NVIDIA made so far in distributions? And it gave me the wrong answer twice. So I just went in and did it myself. So down at the bottom of the screen here, this is all of the distributions they've paid out since June of 2023. And so far, NVIDIA has paid out $25.47 in, 31 months. 31 months? No, is that right? 12, 20, yeah, 31 months, $25.47. That is incredible. I took a calculator out here. The average of that is $1.21. Could you imagine, right? If you made an investment for $20, right, times however many shares, and you're receiving $1.21, how happy you would be with that investment. So far, for me, I've been pretty happy with my NVIDIA investment. One thing that I would like to see, and something that I pay attention to, is this price, the share price. And I know a lot of people are going to come back and say, I'm only in it for the income. I hear you. I love the income too, but I also want my price to stay at least the same. If it can't stay the same, if this thing starts going like Coney, Alti, then I'm not going to be a happy investor with YieldMax. I don't know if you guys knew this, how they make their money, but they make their money off the amount of money that is invested in their funds. The 0.99 or almost 1% goes into their bank accounts, right? So they make these calls, they do these synthetic options for you, the investor. You get that distribution. In return, they get that 1%. So as long as they're paying you a little bit of money here and there, then they're going to have happy customers. But for me, I want that cake and I want to eat it too. I want the distribution, but I also want my share price to stay relatively close to the same. And so I want to ask the question, why is NVIDIA down 22% when NVIDIA itself is up 0.87%? And I think that's a valid question to ask. How can YieldMax improve so that they don't just have short-term investors, because these groups I'm in, they talk about, oh, is this a good investment? I don't know, it's too risky, dot, 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 dot. How can YieldMax develop long-term investors? And in my opinion, they can turn down the YieldMax a little bit and do yield pretty good, as well as maintaining our share price. Just a suggestion. I also wanted to take a look today at some of the other chip type stocks out there. So that we have AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. This is also a YieldMax play of AMDY. You can see the last 6 months is down 36%. We also have Taiwan Semiconductor here, TSMI, over at YieldMax here. Is it I or Y? I'm not invested in it, but this one in the last 6 months up 9%. So it's done very, very well. And I believe TSMY has also done pretty well in the YieldMax fund here. So something to think about for sure. So there you go. Those are the two others that I just kind of brought up. There's many other chip companies out there and AI type companies, but for me, I'm a NVIDIA person. I love it. That Jack Huang is incredible. That entire CES speech he put out there the other night, incredible. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll link it up top right now, and also at the end of this video, the live. We did an entire live. Excuse the audio in the first 10 minutes. I was dealing with technology over here. But yeah, so the point of this video was to kind of say, is this a good investment or not? And I want to recall what I said. It's up to you. It's up to your pain threshold. It's up to you to decide what you're looking for. Are you looking for income, or do you want to see growth in a stock price? Because if you want to see growth, NVIDIA could be the better option for you. And for me, I just told you what I want. I want growth in share price, at least stable, plus the distribution. So what am I doing? I'm buying a little bit of NVIDIA, only 10 shares for now. And then I'm also getting that income from NVIDIA. And so I'm getting the best of both worlds, fingers crossed. I looked at the price guesses by the experts out there, right? And so I saw anywhere from $130 all the way up to $220 from the experts on their price predictions or targets for NVIDIA. My average price right now is 140, I think, and so I'm looking to add 7 more shares coming up. We'll see how we do, but tell me what you guys are up to. Are you just in NVIDIA? Have you been thinking about NVIDIA? Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's go ahead and play these 2 videos. The first one here is going to be a few days ago, just 3 days ago. And the second video will be from today. So this is 3 days ago, peaches and unicorns and rainbows. And then today's is going to be the opposite of that. Okay, enjoy. Here we go.
As a top pick, analyst Stacy Raskin has a $175 price target on the stock, which implies a 17% gain from today's close. He joins us now. Stacy, what are you expecting from Jensen tonight?
Yeah, as you said, Jensen puts on a pretty good show, right? It'll clearly be all around AI. We'll see if we get updates on the data center side of things, Blackwell, Rubin. But at the same time, this is also the consumer electronics show. We'll hear about gaming probably. We'll probably hear about automotive. We'll probably hear, like, as you mentioned, rumors maybe that they're pushing into the PC space. We'll probably hear a lot about robotics and AI at the edge. I think he's got plenty to talk about and plenty for people, I think, still to be excited about.
How much is the story going to also be what is being announced around NVIDIA, not just NVIDIA specific, but sort of just the whole ecosystem of AI, this becoming, now the mainstream? It's not just corporations building up data centers, but it's a consumer product at this point, or we're entering that phase.
Yeah, I hope we're entering it. And we had some updates today, some keynotes from Intel and AMD, and they both talked a lot about AI PCs, where we have yet to see that driving like a lot of like incremental strength in the PC market, but I think there's always hope. Qualcomm, the same thing around AI smartphones. So certainly the technology is the point where it's starting to get in consumers' hands. I think we'd love to see it start to drive actual upgrades of devices on the consumer level. I don't know that we've necessarily seen that yet, like in any sort of like large amount, but we're all hopeful. We're all hopeful.
Stacey, you've been bullish in NVIDIA probably 90% of the time, and you've been right to be bullish. Here's my question. If there is a competitor out there that concerns you, who would that be? What company is it?
Yeah, you know, so if I think about long-term, how does this market shake out? I think GPUs are very important, but I'm not actually convinced at the end of the day it's like two GPU vendors. Like I cover Broadcom, for example, who does ASICs, and I actually do think the ultimate shakeout, it's probably NVIDIA GPUs, and then for captive workloads at hyperscalers, it'll likely be ASICs. They're all working on their own. And I suspect ASICs, frankly, will probably outgrow in the sense that they're coming from a much smaller base. But you can do the math today. If I was, you know, it's a little bit of monkey math, but I bet ASICs relative to GPUs, ASICs are probably low double digits, 10, 11, 12% of the spend today. Could that number be, you know, 20% of a much bigger pie in 5 years? Yeah, I think it could. But my guess is that's the likely competition. Now, yes, does it worry me? It doesn't really worry me at this point because I don't think we're on the saturated part of the S curve, right? Things are still growing. So right now, I think that the question asked is it a big market or is it not? If it's a big opportunity, I think there's room for everybody. If it's not a big opportunity, then everybody's in trouble, right? So I think that's the question that you want to have confidence one way or the other. I'll worry about competition later. I don't think it's the time to worry about it now.
Me either.
Stacey's Karen, thanks for being on tonight. So if you have a $175 valuation, how do you get there? What are the metrics that you think are most important here?
1,000, not 1,000.
Yeah, it's earnings and multiple. And I'll be honest, I can't actually remember what multiple we're putting on it right now, but I don't think it's egregious. The stock today, as of today's close, is trading at about 38 times forward, which is kind of right in line where it's trading. If you look at the 5-year average or the 10-year average, that's kind of where it is. And you know, I've made this point on the station before, but as strong as the stock has been over the last year or I guess 2 years as this has gone, it's actually cheaper today than it was before it started, right? I mean, as much as the stock has gone up, the earnings have gone up even more, and the multiples actually come down. And the multiple today, if the numbers are anywhere even close to right, the multiple's not egregious at all at these levels.
So there's the one take on it. This is 3 days ago, and then today, so news came out about restrictions. So let's watch the video on that. Let you make your decision after this one. Here we go.
The Biden administration reportedly set to announce a new set of last-minute expansive chip export restrictions today. It's a 3-tiered system that would put new caps on AI chip curbs depending on the country and the company. Deirdre Bosa has more in today's Tech Check. Deirdre, explain this for us, please.
I will, and in doing so, I'm also going to ask how successful have the current restrictions been? The export ban did prevent China from getting the highest-end American chips, but it did not stop China from catching up in the AI race, proving that necessity is the mother of invention. Now, despite not having access to NVIDIA's best-performing GPUs, a Chinese research lab called DeepSeek was able to build an AI model using dumbed-down GPUs that beat OpenAI's GPT-4 on certain benchmarks. That just shocked the AI community. Here's what Perplexity CEO Arvind Srinivas told me.
But the reality is some of the details in DeepSeek V3 are so good that I wouldn't be surprised if Meta took a look at it and incorporated some of that in Llama 4, right?
So remember, NVIDIA is
so
an AI
advanced
company
that our best American companies could use it as a blueprint. That is a shocking statement. In other words, the existing chip restrictions, they did nothing to slow down China's pace. It only made them more creative and more efficient. They backfired. Other Chinese labs are also making major strides in efficiency with limited resources. There's Kai-Fu Lee's 01.ai and Alibaba's Q1. There's others. The export ban on China has also led to smuggling and loopholes. A report from The Information said that TikTok owner ByteDance and other Chinese companies rented high-end GPUs through American cloud companies to get around restrictions. Another report from Reuters a few months ago said that TSMC chips were found on a Huawei product. So creativity here in a different sense, forced again by those restrictions. So it begs the question, by expanding them, what are you really achieving? And this is a point that NVIDIA took up in its response to those expanded restrictions. It calls them a last-minute policy that would play into the hands of U.S. adversaries. And this is pretty uncharacteristic language from NVIDIA against the current Biden administration. It also echoes an Oracle blog post from just a few days ago that said that the export control framework will go down as one of the most destructive to ever hit the U.S. technology industry, and quote, says we don't need a ride, we need government to get out of the way, which will be very interesting with the incoming Trump administration and how they're going to deal with this.
That's a big change from like the auto industry, right? We don't need a ride, get out of the way. That's what they're saying. We are good to go. We are good to do business. Get out of the way is what they're trying to say here, right? So, yeah, I thought those were kind of interesting videos. You know, NVIDIA is the top company out there right now, and it is making waves. Their biggest drawback, well, other than the government getting in their way, is that they don't have enough to build what the consumers want, right? And so they're working on that as well. So let me know, are you in NVIDIA? What do you like about NVIDIA? Are you in NVIDIA? What do you like about NVIDIA? Also, let me know again. I'm hoping to do it live tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know if you're going to be there or not. And I just wanted to say, love you guys more. My name is Mike. This channel right here is Health and Wealth. Hope you have a great Friday night.